I cannot believe it is May already, but if you guys are in the mood to plan, be organized, and reset things for a new month, then grab yourself a cover and let's get into the video. I wanted to show you guys some of the product empties that I have for beauty and skincare. I've accumulated these empties from the start of the year until now, and one thing I really want to do in May is to upgrade my skincare routine. I had been using more sort of cost-effective skincare, and I really do just want to invest a little bit more in quality products that are really going to nourish my skin. I have very dry but also acne-prone skin, and I'm starting to get a little bit more mature skin as well, so I really want to be able to buy products that are going to work for my skin type and really nourish that. I've also started switching out some of my bottled products for bars. So I now have a body moisturizer bar instead of this tube, and I also have a facial wash bar instead of a bottle cleanser. I had 2 facial oil bars that were blocking my skin a little bit that I have used instead for hand cream rather than using my tubes. So I am doing a little bit of a swap out and also a bit of a re-evaluation of my skin and beauty products as well. Now, sadly for me, May means that school holidays are over and we are entering into term 2. So it's necessary for me to start doing some planning for the first week or two back of school. I'm going to get up my timetable on the computer and start writing out my classes in my diary and prepping what I'm going to do for each lesson. Let's quickly assess my April goals. I actually achieved really well on all of my goals. Dentist and mechanic are both done. Admit much strain to my bank account. I have written my year 12 reports. I've done my marking. My marriage certificate has come in. And considering that I've got one more pay to come in this week before the final days of April, I will have saved my $1,000. Now I've also gone ahead and set up my May desktop background, which includes some more very coastal yet autumnal themed images, once again from Pinterest. I've kept my autumn vibes the same, and my important for this month includes finalizing my next year 10 topic. I haven't taught year 10 for a while, so I do need to set up all of the content on our online platform. I'm also hoping to do a road trip up the coast with mum in the next lot of school holidays. We planned this out in 2021 and went into lockdown and wasn't able to do it literally the night before we were about to leave. So we've got the itinerary ready to go. We literally just need to book the accommodation. I'm also really keen to set up a Notion. I'm seeing heaps of people use it. It is totally my aesthetic and my vibe in terms of organization, so I really want to get onto that. And now that I've been monetized on YouTube, I do want to start creating some sort of organizational system for any expenses and earnings from my YouTube, so I'm ready for tax time. And once again, I'd like to save another $1,000. It is time for my favorite segment of my monthly reset routine. It is time for some book talk. Okay, we are starting off with my April wrap up. So the first book I read was How to Kill Your Husband. I actually took this on my honeymoon cruise with me. Initially, I was a bit skeptical on it because obviously a husband had literally died to start off the story, and then we go back in time and kind of track how this all unfolded. And I assumed that the story would be told from the perspective of the lady whose husband it was, but it was actually one of her closest friends. So initially that kind of threw me because I thought one thing was going to be happening and then a whole different story was unfolding for me. But nevertheless, I did really get into it. We have our main character being Cassie. She's a teacher, and then she's got her two best friends, quite wealthy women. One of them husbands died mysteriously, but there's a lot of like relationship unfolding here. There is betrayal, there's cheating, there's a whole heap of like chaos and leaving one another and work situations. It ended up being quite interesting. I was able to read through it pretty quickly, and I ended up giving this one a 4 out of 5 stars. And then I read Hook, Line and Sinker by Tessa Bailey. This is the sequel to It Happened One Summer. However, in that book, Piper Bellinger was the main character, and this one, it is Hannah. One of the things that I like about this book is it does alternate perspectives between Hannah and the love interest Fox, and I found that really interesting. They are both very likable characters, and their love story was very compelling to read. I did actually rate this a 4 out of 5, which was exactly the same rating that I rated It Happened One Summer. It was, you know, lighthearted and upbeat with some spicy moments in there as well, and definitely worth a read. My favorite book this month was also by Tessa Bailey, and it is My Killer Vacation. The thing that I really liked about this one is, yes, it had the romance angle, and definitely some spice factor, but it also had a lot of like thriller and suspense and action moments as well, because obviously someone did die, and then now the main character's life is also threatened as she's trying to help a private investigator uncover what happened. So it's my perfect mix of romance and crime, and I rated this a 4.5 out of 5. My non-fiction and my Christian read of the month is Grace Laced by Ruth Chow Simmons. I actually haven't finished this one because it is a devotional, and so I've just been doing one of the, I guess you could call them chapters or messages per day, and since it is a little bit thicker, it is more than 1 month per of days, so I will be carrying this one into May, and I should be able to finish it by the end of that month. But I am really liking it so far. I would probably say that this one's not quite as good as Beholding and Becoming, but still very beautiful and some great messages in there as well. And I have rated this one 4 out of 5 stars. Okay, I've got one more book from April, and this is the first time this has happened to me this year, but I have not finished it. It's A Summer at Sea by Katie Ford, and I'm chipping away at it, but to be completely honest, I'm just not feeling inspired to read it. It's not that I dislike it, it's just that I don't like it. It's the storyline is like nice and it's cute, but it's just not captivating me to read it. It's particularly slow. So I will get this done, but I just won't get this done by the end of the month. So I'm currently up to chapter 7, but I am, I'd say like a third to almost a half of the way through the book. So I will keep going. If at any point I decide that I'm not going to persevere with this story, I will let you know in next month's book wrap up. I can't like accurately give this a number out of 5 at the moment. Like my feeling at the moment is 3.5 out of 5. Like I said, I don't dislike it, but I'm not like particularly enthralled by it either. But if I happened to finish it, I will give you an updated rating. Now we are on to my May books. Now, since I've still got A Summer at Sea and Grace Laced that I both need to finish this month, I have only selected 3 books for this month. So my first one is Without Merit by Colleen Hoover. It has actually been a while since I've done a Colleen Hoover book, and I have a few on my TBR that I have not gotten to yet. So the synopsis of this one says, the Voss family is anything but normal. They live in a repurposed church, newly baptized Dollar Voss. The once cancer-stricken mother lives in the basement. The father is married to the mother's former nurse. The little half-brother isn't allowed to do or eat anything fun. Then there's Merit. Merit Voss collects trophies she hasn't earned and secrets her family forces her to keep. While browsing the local antique shop for her next trophy, she finds Sagan. His wit and unapologetic idealism disarm and spark renewed life into her until she discovers that he's completely unavailable. Merit retreats deeper into herself, watching her family from the sidelines when she learns a secret that no trophy in the world can fix. Fed up with the lies, Merit decides to shatter the happy family illusion that she's never been part of before, leaving them behind for good. When her escape plan fails, Merit is forced to deal with the staggering consequences of telling the truth. So it seems like there's a little bit of a romance angle in there, but also some element of thriller, which I'm excited about. Then my non-fiction of the month is Lessons, My Path to a Meaningful Life by Giselle Bundchen. I just picked this one up at a thrift shop last year, so it is a little bit more of a memoir. And it just says, in this book, I've laid out the lessons that have helped me live a more conscious and joyful life, inspired me to overcome challenges I've faced over the years, and given me a deeper understanding of myself and the world. I hope they will help you too. Then my last book for May is Love and Other Puzzles. Life Doesn't Always Go Perfectly to Plan, and it's by Kimberly Allsop. And it just says on the back, Rory's life is perfectly predictable, ordered and on track, just the way she likes it. She walks her 12,000 steps a day, writes her to-do list, and each night prepares her breakfast, chia pods, and lays out her clothes for the next day. Ooh, she sounds like a girl I can get behind. She's doing everything right, so why does everything feel so wrong? Deep down, she knows her life and career, not to mention her relationship, are going nowhere, and so Rory, in a moment of desperation, takes an uncharacteristic step, letting the clues of the New York Times crossword puzzle dictate all her decisions for a week. Just for a week, she reasons, just to shake things up a bit. What's the worst that could happen? So normally, in the last couple of months, I've had kind of a theme when it comes to my books, whether they've last month all had like a romance or, you know, a marriage kind of theme to them to go along with my wedding, or they've had a color scheme or some sort of, you know, thing that connected them. This one, the three that I have selected are all totally random. I don't know exactly why I picked them. This one I've had laying around for a while, so I kind of am going through the books that I've had the longest or that are the oldest in my TBR and trying to catch up on those. But that's pretty much my only reasoning. I am going to now set up my beautiful bullet journal spread for my May reading. Here is my very small yet aesthetic reading list for May, and then I also put together a bit of a furniture budget for some of the pieces that I know I want to buy for our new house. So I'm just saving towards those and having a bit of a savings goal that I can work towards. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me as we prepare for May. If you liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe down below. I put out new videos every single Wednesday and Saturday. And if you have any video suggestions for me that you'd like to see in the next couple of months, make sure you leave those down in the comments below. With that being said, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys.